Hey kids, why don't you say something for the microphone? Okay, thank you. We are here at Maywatts Elementary School doing a live recording, a video lesson really, that I want my students to use in the future perhaps if they need to go back and just see how their teacher, Mr. Vaid, performed some research. All I'm going to be doing in this video lesson is performing some research for you. And I'll begin right now with a question. All research begins with a question, and on your organizer that you made a copy of and renamed last night, you saw these column headings. What do I want to know? Here is what I found in my own words. The name of the source, and something for other. I actually am trying to argue that Hernando Cortez was a positive or a beneficial influence on American culture, or what would later become American culture. I want to find out, and I want to know, what did Cortez discover or do in the area that's now California? Because I feel like if I can find the answer to this question, I could make him look more positive and make him look more beneficial. So I'm going to begin with some research. I'm actually going to start using a site called Kids Rex. I'm going to go to the home page, the splash page of Maywatts, and I'm going to go to the reference section, and we'll go to KidRex, actually. So I'm thinking of words that I could type in, keywords that I could type in that might be able to answer that question. What did Cortez discover or do in the area that's now California? I'm thinking maybe if I research in my other section, I'll write the keywords. If I write down something like Cortez, Hernando, California, and I'm going to add the word settlement, because maybe he settled somewhere, or maybe he created a place to settle, and then I'll put the word discovery. Cortez, Hernando, California, settlement, discovery. Okay, let me go back. These are words that I want to put into my Kid Rex. Hernando, Cortez, California, discovery, and settlement. I'll try without settlement, and then I'll try with it after. But I want to see what he did in California, because I know that he went there. Maybe instead of discovery, I'll put the word explored and then discover. I'm using ed endings because it's in the past. Let's see what we get from this. How's everyone doing, by the way?
Good.
That's great.
Thanks. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. We have about 9,900 results. We have about 9,900 results. I didn't spell discovered correctly, so they actually thought I meant this with the correct spelling. Hernando Cortez, California, explored, discovered. So now I'm going to look for sites that I think I could get this information. The question, if we go back to my question, what did Cortez discover or do in the area that's now California? Let's go see some sites here. Let's see what might be beneficial to us. Okay. This is a site, it's called Bernalillo County. It's got the keyword Ferdinand Magellan. It has Hernan Cortez. It says conquered Mexico and explored Gulf of California. This site might actually be something that I want to look at. It's called Bernalillo.nmgen web. It's a timeline. I'm not sure that I want to look at a timeline, because a timeline might just give me some times and facts about events. I might want something that's more in paragraph form. I'm going to open up anyway in a new tab and see what I get. Okay, looks easy to read, but I'm noticing that it starts from a long time ago in history, and I'm going to look for the word Cortez. I'm going to hold down my control button and click or hit the letter F, Control F, and this box comes up over here. This box is going to find any word that I ask it to on the page. I'm going to look for the word California, because I'm trying to find out what Cortez did or discovered in California. So I'll type in California. Okay, it takes me to the word California here. This eliminates me having to browse the whole entire web page and search the whole page. So here it is. Now I'm going to read what it says before it. This is about Ferdinand Magellan. Sailed around the southern end, okay, America. He named the Pacific Ocean. He discovered the Philippines. It says Hernan Cortez conquered Mexico and he explored the Gulf of California. Okay, so I've just found some information. Cortez conquered Mexico and explored the Gulf of California. I'm going to write this in my own language now. I feel like this is some research that I could use and I could benefit from having in my notes. So I'm going to write, I'm not going to write all of this. I'm going to take some of the words and put them into my own language. Cortez explored California Gulf. I'll write it like that. So that's something I found. Cortez explored California Gulf. I'm putting it into my own words. And I'm actually going to put a dash here to show that it's like a note. I'm not going to write paragraphs. And I'm going to go back to my source and I'm going to try to get the name of the website. It's called Bernalillo County, and I wonder if I could highlight it. I can't highlight it. I'm just going to have to try to remember the spelling. Berna, and then Leo. Leo. It's two L's which make the Y sound in Spanish, so I'm going to write that here. It's called Bernalillo County. I'll just call it Bernalillo County website. Bernalillo County website, and I'm going to give the link here. I want to attach the link so if I ever need to go back to it, I can go back to it. So I'm going to click over here in the URL section. You can't see it because this is in the way, but I'll click here. I'll hit Control and A to highlight everything, and then Control and C to copy, and then I'll go back to my document and click Paste. Control V as in Vaid. And now I've got a piece of information on Cortez exploring California Gulf. I'm not satisfied though. I'm going to go back and conduct more research. I want to see what he did in that area. So I'm going to go back to my research. And thank you for those of you who are participating and follow along with what's on screen. We do have an audience member or two who's looking down at the table, whose name I won't point out on the video, of course. But if maybe these are too many words. Cortez, California explored. I'm going to write Cortez, California settled. Because maybe one of his actions was settling somewhere. So I've got Hernando Cortez, California settled. And so I'm going to look for these sites. Okay, I'm looking at the keywords first. California, settlement. Discover facts about Hernando Cortez, the Spanish conquistador who conquered the Aztec Empire. On arrival, he established a settlement, now Veracruz. I don't know if this is a settlement in California or if it's a settlement in Mexico. I think this is Mexico from what I studied. Let me go down a little bit more. Something that sounds like I could read it. Britannica.com. This is a website that's an encyclopedia. That's called Gaspar de Portola, Spanish military officer. I don't want to read that. I just want to focus on Cortez. California State Geography. Hernan Cortez is in there. In some areas of California, you can go snow skiing in the mountains and or swimming. This sounds like it would be something about vacationing, but it does have Hernan Cortez in there. I'll open this in a new tab. And we only have 7 minutes left in this lesson, but let me go here. Looks like a weird site. Let me check it out. It's got an ad on it, which I don't like. So right away, this tells me it's a site that I probably wouldn't want to use maybe in the future. I'll give it a chance right now. There's too many ads on it, it appears. You can see the ads there, and that's kind of a red flag or a warning that it's not a site that maybe you should be using because they're more focused on advertising than giving you education. But I'm going to use my control. What is it? What button do I press? Control what? F. F is for find. So you hold down the control key and you press the letter F. And if I just get rid of it, I'll do it again. Control and what? F for find. The website can find a word on the page. So I could type in settle. And maybe looking to see if Cortez had a settlement or a place to settle. This states California is known as a golden state in addition to the gold rush which brought many settlers to the area. This has nothing to do with Cortez. This is about Gold Rush. Instead of using settle, I'm gonna actually use Cortez's name. Okay. There's one match over here, which means the word comes up once on the website. And here's Cortez's name, and I'm gonna read before it. Native Americans lived in California for thousands of years before the first Europeans arrived on the scene. Spanish explorer Hernan Cortez discovered the peninsula of Baja California in 1533. So now I'm getting some more information. He discovered a peninsula. I don't know what a peninsula is. I'm going to put this in my notes, but here's the website. It's called Kidport Reference Library. Let me go back here. I'm going to just title it Kidport Reference Library, and I'm going to copy the link. See, you might be able to see it over here. It highlights right there. Control C to copy. And then if I were to go back to my notes organizer, Control V as in Vaid to paste. Now what I've got here are names of websites and their links in case they need to go back. I thought this was interesting. I never knew this before. I'm going to Control what again to find Cortez's name? Control F, and I'm going to type in Cortez. There's one match. It's highlighted. I'm going to read before it. Natives lived in California for thousands of years before the first Europeans arrived. Spanish explorer Hernan Cortez. He discovered the peninsula of Baja California. So I'm going to write that. I'm putting in my own words. Cortez discovered the California Baja Peninsula. In my other section, I'm going to make a note here. I'll do a caps locks. Research what a peninsula is. And I'll highlight this so that it's orange. I'll make it orange so it stands out, because I don't know what a peninsula is. It might be the next thing I need to do. This is a note for myself. Okay, let me continue on. Take the highlight off. I want to go back to that site and read a little bit more. Oh, he discovered it in 1533. So I'm going to add that. In 1533. Okay. Get rid of the highlight. Let me go back to the site now. And it says he actually thought it was an island and named it after an imaginary island in a 16th century Spanish book. I'm going to add that to my notes. I'm going to put this in my own words. He thought it was an island and he named it after an imaginary island in a 16th century Spanish book. So the way I'm going to write this is like this. Cortez thought the Baja Peninsula was an island, and he gave it its name from a pretend island in a Spanish book. So I'm going to put these dashes here to show that it's not paragraph notes. I don't feel satisfied with everything. I still feel like I could find out more information about what he did in that area. I'm trying to make him look positive, but one thing I want to find out is what a peninsula is. So I'm not going to wait any longer. I really want to find out what a peninsula is. So I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to go to the reference section, and I'm going to use Instagrok, because Instagrok is really good for just looking at one topic or one subject. And we have about just under 2 minutes left in our lesson. I'm going to type in not just peninsula, but I'm going to type in California or Baja Peninsula, because in my notes it's the peninsula. It's actually the Baja Peninsula we're looking for. It's a particular name of a place. And let me go back now to Instagrok. Uh-oh, there it is. We're going to type in Baja Peninsula. And we'll grok that. See what we get here. Maybe we'll get some stuff related to Cortez that I could find out. Okay. So here's a Baja Peninsula. Just peninsulas. Floods. Mexicali. Islands. Something about Spanish. Maybe I'll find something about Cortez. But you know what? For right now, I just want to find out what a peninsula is. So I'm going to click on Baja Peninsula. I'm going to go to some images of it. So this is where the Baja Peninsula is. I'm going to see what it looks like on a map. That's the Baja Peninsula. That's what he thought was an island. I'll right-click this. I'll copy it. And I'll put it into my notes. I'll put it, it's a part of my research, so it's It's what I found. I'm going to put it in this section. Control V to paste. And that's it. Time's up.